What about friends? Mac OS Ventura running as a virtual machine VM on QEMU on Linux. There are two different ways to install it, the offline and the online installation method. I'll first cover the offline and then the online. There are a couple of gotchas and a big warning at the end, so stay with me. It is going to be a fun ride and I'll give you the entire experience. The caveat of the offline installation method that it is only available to people having access to a real Mac or at least a Mac on the VM, because you can only create the offline installation DMG, the disk, using on a Mac, not on Linux. We are going to use the guide, the famous Dhiro guide, and I am not responsible for this offline installation method, and Dhiro says that Ventura support is available now. So I came back to this GitHub script, and if you go to the pull requests, we see a gentleman by the name of Mike Hardy. All credit goes to this guy, not me, for this method at least. He has given us a way to install Ventura offline. So to do that, we need to download the full final installer for macOS Ventura. And the easy way to get it is to browse to this website and click on the install assistant package. And yes, it's more than 11 gigs. So we have to be patient and we need to download this file in its entirety. Now you can watch me and download this, or in the meantime we can do something more productive. So let's go back to the let's go back to the script, and we need the GitHub repository to make the installer, in addition to the DMG that we are downloading. Okay, sorry, in addition to the package that we are downloading. So we need to clone it, and I'll fire up my terminal and check that we have things separate. So I like to keep things separate. I'll make a directory called QEMU, and I'll change my directory into that. And then I'm going to clone this Git directory. And I assume you have Git on your Mac. If not, you can install it from Homebrew. And if you don't have Homebrew on your Mac, I would highly recommend installing it. And I have also installed QEMU and other tools through Homebrew. It's the best package. It's a package manager for the Mac. I won't say best, otherwise brickbats will be out. So once the repository has been cloned, we can change CD into that repository, and we'll just make sure that we have the latest bits by doing git pull rebase, and it says you're already up to date. So if we change into the scripts directory and we check, we have different scripts to create Big Sur, Catalina, High Sierra, Mojave installer. But okay, if we change into this Ventura directory, we see we have a makefile script in the Ventura directory. So there is a makefile script, but we need to get the actual script to convert the package to the DMG. And where will you get that script? Yes, Mike Hardy is the hero here. So let's go back to that pull request, and he says just follow on to say that he has used this script and it's working. So if it works for him, it should work for us too, right? And this is what I'm going to show you. So let's click on that script there, and you see we have this script, this beautiful script that he's created, and he has changed some things. I don't know, but credit goes to him. So we have to get the script. So we are going to view the file, and to download the script, we'll just copy the name because we need that name here. And let's download the script not from here. I am bad with GitHub. So let's click on raw, and yes, and then let me select all and copy and paste. So I'll select all, copy and paste. It doesn't work. So let me save as. So yeah, save as works. So we're going to save in the downloads directory. And now that the script has downloaded, we are going to move it from the downloads directory to the scripts directory inside Dhiro script, OSX script. So I'm going to say move from my downloads directory to downloads directory, create DMG Ventura script, sh script. It's an executable script through here, and we check with ls. Then yes, we have that script. So let's verify the content of the script. Let's not blindly run it, and we are going to see that of course we have the same script. That means we can shut down Firefox, And let me go through the script and read that things are looking good. Yeah, 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 yes, 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 looks good. I mean, looks good. Yeah, I mean, I can't do any of script, so you have to trust this guy. I trusted him. You should. I mean, it's your call. I mean, if you want to do it, so it looks good. So we're going to change the permission and make it executable. Say chmod plus x and create dmg.script. And on the following day, the installation, the install assistant.package.created. As you can see, my background has changed, and yes, we have a package. We have downloaded 11.3 gigs. So we'll double click on it, and then we'll click on continue. And what this will do is it will install the package into your applications directory. So click on install, and this should go in a jiffy. It should not take very long. It will ask you for your administrative password. Enter your password, and it takes 40 MB. No, it takes more than that. So it's writing file. And what this will do is it will install an app in your applications folder that Mike Hardy's script will use to create the Ventura DMG. And if you go to the applications folder, yes, install macOS Ventura app is there. We have it. Good, 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 good. Great, great. So this is what we need, and now we are going to fire up the script which will convert this to a DMG. So if we go into the scripts folder and we say dot front slash create DMG ventura.sh, and yes, you see on the right there where there's a ventura.dmg, the install app is the app. Inside the applications folder we have an install macOS Ventura app, and the output disk is on the desktop ventura.dmg. And yes, this will take time depending upon the CPU capabilities of your Mac, and after some time you have to enter your administrator password because it's trying to create a disk. That is based on my understanding, and yes, it will take some time, so please be patient. And after some time we have the disk created. So this is the offline installation, entire DMG, Ventura DMG, that we will use in Dhiru's Kholia script to install it. Dhiru Kholia script only downloads the recovery image. So if you just download the recovery image, your installation is going to go in an online mode. So it will download the Ventura bits in real time while it is installing. What we have done is through the offline method, we have downloaded 16 gigs, and we are going to use this for our installation method. Again, sorry guys, only possible if you have access to a Mac, real Mac, or a Mac in a VM. So I'm going to now switch over to my Linux machine, and I'm going to copy this DMG file to my Linux machine. Okay, on my Linux machine where we are going to install it, we are going to use the Dhiru Kholia script, and I'm going to go through this script line by line, assuming you have QEMU installed on your Linux machine. All right. So I have used the script in a couple of videos, and I would like to thank Dhiru Kholia for some amazing work. Okay. So it says on the right, run macOS QEMU KVM with OpenCore on Big Sur, and it says Ventura support is available now. So yes, thank you to him, and thank you to Mark Hardy again for the offline installation method. So if you go through the requirement, it says a modern Linux distribution, Ubuntu 22.04 LTS 64-bit or later, and QEMU greater than 6.2.0. So to verify that, fire up your terminal or terminal on any Linux distribution that you have, and we can see I'm using kernel 6.07, which is good. And if we check the version of QEMU, then we have the latest is, which is 7.1.0. So looks good. Okay, you can use Arch, you can use Ubuntu, you can use any your favorite Linux distro, and you should be having a relatively modern CPU. So looks good to us. Okay, so installation preparation. The first thing we need to do, KVM may need the following tweak on the host machine to work. So let's copy this guy and paste it in the terminal, and will ask us for our administrator password. And yes, you should get one. One is good. Anything other than one, it's a problem. Okay. Now to make this change permanent, you may use the following command, but it's for Intel boxes only after cloning the repo below. Okay. So we'll clone the repo and then we do this. And then he says, please install QEMU and other packages. And as you see, I already have QEMU, but I do not have DMG to IMG. So I'm going to install it. So he says sudo pacman.syu just to see if there are any updates, DMG to IMG. All right, and yes, there were updates, so good practice. And we have installed DMG to our IMG. All right. Now, this step may be, okay, now you have to, this step is optional. This step should actually be done while you are installing QEMU. Since I have installed QEMU earlier, I have done this step, but for the sake of completion, I'm going to copy and paste all these three commands one by one so that my user is added to the KVM group, the libvirt group, and the input group. And it says you need to re-log in after executing all these three commands. So since we have now executed all these three commands, it is recommended. No, it's not recommended. You must re-log in. I have done it before, so I'm not going to do it, but just please, guys, please reboot. Okay, and come back to this video. Okay, now that we have rebooted and you're back to this video, we are going to clone the repository. Okay, so we made the preparation for the offline installer and we are now using with the script, and I'm going to diverge both the online, and I'm going to show you both the online and the offline way and the differences and the caveats of both. Okay, okay, so we'll make a directory called QEMU because I like to keep things separate, and I'm going to clone this repo, and as I had done it on my Mac machine. Okay, so because we're going to use it anyway, so we have to use it. So let's once this repo is cloned, which I think my internet is a little slow, we are going to cd into it and we are going to pull the updates, the latest bits on our machine to make sure we have the latest bits. So we are already up to date. Now coming up to the online installation way. Now remember, oh sorry, I forgot. Now to make this change permanent, what you can do is, since we have cloned this repo, just copy this command and paste it so that the change will be permanent. So we are copying the KVM configuration to the KVM copying the KVM configuration from this directory to our KVM configuration in our machine. Now we are going to fetch the macOS installer using the script /fetch macOS.py. And as you can see, you can use from High Sierra to Ventura. Since we are on the Ventura video, we are going to download Ventura. Now this only downloads the recovery image, guys. It does not download the entire Ventura bits. As you can see, it's only 653.15 megs. That is why this is called the online installation method, because the entire Ventura bits will be downloaded online. I don't know how many times I have to repeat this. I don't know. I'm just okay. So next we have to convert the DMG to the IMG. But first I'm going to convert the DMG that I have downloaded from my Mac machine, and I'll convert that into an IMG. So this is the place where I have copied the DMG from my Mac machine to this machine, and for converting it I need the entire path. So first I'll copy this command DMG to IMG. I will also convert the recovery, but I'm just taking both the online and the offline installation methods at the same time, and I'm preparing it and I'll just show you both. So let me copy the path to the entire path to this DMG and paste it. So DMG to IMG, that -i is probably for input, and we gave it the entire path, and we are going to change the names because it's not basesystem.dmg, it's ventura.dmg, and we have an error. DMG image is corrupted. Guys, all our efforts went in vain. Whoa. Don't worry, guys. I'll do some R&D and I'll be back. Trust me. I mean, okay. So I did my R&D and I came back and somebody said, you don't need this. All you need to do is to rename the DMG to an IMG. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, it's technology, guys. I mean, I don't know. So I don't have to use this DMG to IMG command. I just need to say rename or MV, and then this entire path to ventura.dmg, and just to rename it in the same place so I don't have to like move it, I'm going to again prepend the entire path and that's going to say base system.img. That's it. And it just went in a jiffy, nothing to do. And now if I check, I just have base system.img. So cool. I mean, yeah, and this is not my Cardi, this is my R&D. All right. So moving on. Now it says we have to create a virtual hard disk image where macOS will be installed. So let me copy this command from here. We need this step is what it is doing. It is creating the disk on which you will install macOS Ventura. And yes, I am going to bump it up from 128 gigs to 1000 gigs. And don't worry guys, it's not going to take up the entire space on your hard disk. It is only going to take up space as required. So you are safe with using 1000 gigs. Okay. And it says installation, the CLI method, it's primary. We just need to run this command. But before that, we need to change a couple of things. Guys, please pay attention. Okay, very important. Please keep your eyes wide open. Okay, not wide shut, but wide open. Okay, so allocated RAM. Okay, how much RAM that you can allocate on your machine is given here. Be my guest. If you have 16 gigs, allocate 8 gigs. Okay, and I have 8 gigs on this machine, but I'm going to be a little bold, so and I'm going to allocate not 4, but I'm going to allocate 6. So I'm going to say 1024 into 6 is 6144. Coming to the most important part here, CPU sockets and CPU threads. To do that, paste the name of your CPU in on the internet, and it will hopefully take you to this Intel. If you have an Intel CPU or I don't know, AMD CPU, it will take you to a page where it gives you the details of your CPU, and you can see my CPU is a decade back CPU, but I'm still running Ventura. So I have 2 cores and total of 4 threads on my CPU. So I need to change this. I need to change from CPU threads 4 to 2. Why? Because you will say no, 4 threads, but the script multiplies CPU cores into CPU threads into CPU sockets. So 2 into 2 is 4 and 4 into 1 is 4. So I am going to say SMP4. I am going to give it 4 cores or 4 threads, but in front of that CPU threads, the variable, I am going to add threads is equal to this. So it is going to multiply CPU sockets into CPU cores into CPU threads. So 1 into 2 is 2 and 2 into 2 is 4. Remember that, it's very important. Otherwise, I don't know what will happen. Okay, so coming down, this path here is, we need to change this. Don't use vars 1028 into 768 FD. Change it to just vars. Again, this I got it from the pull request. Those guys are amazing. I mean, I don't remember the name, but again, credit goes to some person in the pull request. Okay, install media. The repo path base system.img. Right now, I'm using the offline bits. So I am going to use this path, and I will also make an entry for the recovery image img. So I need to paste this entire path. So it's using the full path from there, and I also make an entry after I couldn't record it. So I'll just remember, guys, I'll make an entry again. If you have just use the base image from your directory, or I just use it from a different path. Okay, now we don't need a monitor, and I'm going to change the device VGA. Again, this is very important, guys. Don't use VGA, use VirtIO. Your machine is going to be much better. I mean, the graphics is going to be much better. So I'm going to say comment of VGA and monitor stdio, and I'm going to say VirtIO. Otherwise, the script looks good. I mean, Dhiru Kholia's team has done an amazing job. So I think we are good to go, and it looks good. So I'm going to first run the offline, sorry, I'm going to first run the online installation method. Okay, so we have the base system.img, and so I'm now converting the base system, the recovery image, into the base system.img, the DMG to the IMG using the DMG to IMG command, and I don't know. I mean, it takes so much time. I don't know if this is really necessary. Probably I could just rename it like I renamed the entire installer. So looks good, guys, and we are good to go. So we are going to say Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, so that things go well. Bismillah, and let's see. Yes, 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 yes. What do you say, guys? Remember, if you've seen my videos before, lift off. Yeah, we have a lift off. Okay, so let's go to the macOS based system. And after all this gibberish is done, we are going to cut through the bits which are unimportant and only show you the relevant bits. We are going to land on this screen where we are presented with these four options. So what we need to do, we need to go down to disk utility and click on continue. Remember, this is the online installation where I'm just using the recovery image downloaded using the script fetch fetch installer I don't remember the name of the script. Okay, so we need to find the 1 TB script, the 1 TB disk that we have used. Remember, please don't format the other disk. Okay, so click on erase and give it a name. I'm going to name it Mac HDD, good old fashioned name. And although Ventura uses APFS on this, but the Zero Korea guide recommends going with macOS Extended. That is what I have used. You please feel free to use APFS and come back and tell me if it made any difference. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so after that, once this is done, we need to click on reinstall macOS Ventura. Remember this word, reinstall. Okay, so because you will see the change when I use the entire script. So click on agree and agree here also. And hopefully, yes, we will install macOS Ventura on Mac HDD. And it says about 2 hours and 16 minutes remaining. But based on experience, it generally takes about 6 to 8 hours, depending upon the speed of your internet, depending upon your CPU capabilities, because it has to download the entire 16 gigabytes of Ventura bits while this is installing. It will boot a couple of times. Now, moving back, this is now this was the online, now I'm moving to the offline bits. Okay, if you use the offline DMG installer, what will be your experience? Okay, so I am going to delete the disk that I had used for online, and now I'm going to create a separate disk for the offline installation method. And now again we say Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Let's see if this works or not. Yeah. Yes, lift off. We have a lift off, and you see we have a different icon there. Because we are using the entire Ventura DMG, IMG, or whatever. Okay, so again the experience is the same here. Use format that 1 TB disk based on APFS if you want to go through, and if you're using APFS, then you should probably use an SSD. I don't have an SSD. This is an HDD, so I'm going with what Dhiru Kolia says. And this time we say install macOS Ventura. Remember, it was reinstall, and this just says install. So click on agree and click on agree here. And this time select the hard disk, and you will see that this time the time required is much short. It's just about 59-41 minutes, and it's decreasing fast. I mean, there's a drastic change from 2 hours, more than 2 hours, to just 40 minutes. And based on the real experience now that I'm making the video, it took around 2 hours and maybe 2.5 hours. Okay, so 2.5 hours on one side and 6 hours to 8 hours on the other side. And the good point about the offline install, okay, so this is the first reboot, and you have to select the macOS installer. Don't select the flower or there. Okay, again, it'll go to the installation bits again. And the good thing about the offline installer is that, okay, we have the second reboot, and after the second reboot, no, this is going on. The good thing about the offline installer is you just download the bits one, and you can reuse it separate times, because a couple of my viewers complained that the installation stopped mid through, they had to cancel. Okay, this is the second reboot. Again, go to macOS installer. I did not run it through the online installation. I did not wait for like 8 hours. So okay, this is the third reboot, and now these things have changed. It is called no more installer. It is Mac HDD. So things are looking good, guys. I mean, you can just download it once and you can reuse it, and yes, we will be presented with this screen. And please be patient on the screen. I mean, Dhiru Kholia's guide says to wait on the screen, don't do anything. I don't know why. If you see, my CPU usage is at 95%, and out of that 95%, QEMU is using 79 or to 80%. So as he recommends, Hero Korea recommends, I am going to wait for the usage of the CPU to go down. I mean, and you should wait too, because I don't know, maybe things are going in the back end that only Hero Korea knows what is going on. So I'm just going to let this installation sit on this screen. And now you see my CPU usage is down to 40%, 34%. Okay, now we can safely proceed through. Okay, I mean, if Dhiru Kohli is listening it, probably he'll understand. Okay, so select your country, select your written and spoken languages. If you've ever installed, Mac, then this should be so accessibility. You can run through Vision, VoiceOver. You can turn on whatever you want, whatever based on your needs. Since I'm running this on a VM, on a decade-old CPU and on 8 gigs of RAM, only out of which I am allocating 6, I'm trying to make it as fast as possible. So I'm going to reduce transparency, and I'll just keep it at standard. So all my effort is trying to make this machine as fast as possible. So I'm going to use things or features that will reduce the CPU load. Okay, so I'm going to reduce motion also, and I don't need so much motion. Accessibility, keyboard, I mean, based on your needs, do things that are good for you. Cognitive, again, I'm going to choose dark because I think it's using less power and less stress on the CPU. So things will be a little faster. And it will be best if you could pass through data and privacy. Here you get to shake hands and give away all your data to the company that whose operating system you're trying to install. Sign in with your Apple ID. You can set up later. I'm going to set it up later. You can, I don't know, it's going to work or not. So create a computer account. And yes, I've created my computer account. Location services, you can enable or disable is your choice. And then we will see what's on the next screen. It will ask you, please enable location services or something like that. But so I think, okay, we'll select your time zone. It correctly detected or not, I don't know. Analytics, you want to share it, it's your call. Screen time, you want to set up later, it's your call. And keyboard assistant, yes, final step. Okay, so this keyboard assistant, okay, let's get rid of that. And keyboard assistant, setup assistant, and we click on continue. And identifying your keyboard, right key on the left, left key on the right shift. I don't know, can't remember. And things go right, and we select the ANSI keyboard, and we are almost done. And yes, guys, see, wow, just wow. I mean, still there are things to do, but we have, congratulations, guys. I mean, really, congratulations, guys. We are running Ventura as a virtual machine using QEMU, and I'm on Linux here. I mean, we are on Linux here. Come on. So iMac Pro, okay, and we have 6 gigs of RAM, and graphics is 7 MB. Remember, graphics is 7 MB. Remember that. Why? Because we are using VirtIO. And the display that you're seeing right now is a little stretched, I don't know, because the laptop that I'm running this VM on is not doesn't have a 1920 by 1080 display, and the display, I don't know if they have chosen 1920 by 1080 if you use VirtIO. So since the display was a little clunky, I went to displays, and I saw that the display resolution is at 1920 by 1080 default. And this laptop that I'm running this machine on has 1366 by 768, if I'm not wrong. And if I clicked on show all resolutions, it did not show me all resolution. So I could not fix the display. I mean, the display is okay, but the menus look really small, so I'm trying to make it normal. I mean, trying to make the screen 1366 by 768, the native resolution of my monitor on my laptop. But okay, even if I hit full screen, it doesn't look too good. But yes, good thing is internet works. So yes, congratulations for that. Internet works, and if we check on Ventura, yeah, we have Ventura is a security too. Okay, but we are using for Mac OS Ventura, and yeah, you should totally hold off updating to Mac OS 13 Ventura if you can. I don't know. Wow, wow, wow. Your Mac has a hidden white noise generator. Yo, I will have to look up that when I'm done with this video. Probably, oh, life hacker has to be something. Okay, now I'm going to fix this display by switching over from VirtIO to VGA. And now once I selected VGA, you know, the display looks a little better, proportionate to the size of my laptop. And if I make it full screen and if I log in, then yes, things look a little better, but you know, they are still not too good. So, and I remember I told you at the start of this video, I'm going to talk to you about a warning. You should not do, okay, if you have come to this point, stop watching this video, and please make a backup of the QCOW hard disk or the IMG hard disk that you have created. Because if you do something stupid, I mean, if you try on some experimentation, if it doesn't work, it is going to screw up your entire the IMG file, and on the last 6 to 8 hours of your effort is going to go in waste. How? You will see shortly. So in an effort to change the display resolution, when I am using VGA, I came to this place where it says display, and it's 5120 by 2880 default. And if I click on show all resolutions, remember guys, I'm still on my laptop which has 1366 by 768. You have 1280 by 800 and 1280 by 720. So what I'll do is I'll try and change the resolution here to 1280 by 720. And as soon as I click on this, yes, you see, this is what you get for experimentation. This is what you get for R&D. I mean, guys, I mean, I mean, had I not taken a backup, I don't know what I would be doing, because once this changed, I could not get the resolution back to normal. I mean, if you guys can get it, please write it down on the comments below how you were able to come out of this situation, because I tried a lot of things, but you know, it didn't work. So let me get out of this full screen and try and do something about it. See, if I get out of this full screen, it's so huge, because you remember the original display resolution is so much, and it's cramping up the display in my laptop, and I'm just seeing a part of it. So I can't do anything about it. I moved it, but thankfully I had a backup. So please make a backup as soon as you are able to log into Ventura. So I had a backup, so don't worry guys. See, I'm running VGA and looks good. Okay, doesn't matter, I threw away that. But now the demo I'm going to show you is on the laptop that, sorry, on the desktop that has a 1920 by 1080 monitor, and things look better already, right? Don't they? It looks native. So yes, let me ignore, I don't know why this guy comes up. Maybe it's because of the QCOW2 disk or something like that. Okay, now I made it full screen, and wow, just wow. Wow, doesn't it look good, guys? I mean, it's almost native. I mean, see, display is 7 MB. Oh, and remember, in the VGA, the display was just 3 MB. And you know, guys, my desktop and my laptop, the motherboard, the chipset, and the CPU does not support GPU pass-through. If they had supported, I would have passed in my GPU, and it would be an amazing machine to work on. I mean, use cases for this machine, I mean, time pass machine. I mean, just see what Ventura has to offer, or you can use it for development. I mean, if your people are doing Xcode development, they can use this machine. I mean, if you just want to browse the web, okay, you can use this machine. I mean, if you want to play with the latest bits of macOS Ventura, oh yeah, you can use this machine. So Again, internet is working on this machine and it looks good. I mean, it looks good to me. I hopefully it looks good to you too. So, and just to see if the hardware capabilities of this machine, and I bumped up the memory because on this machine I have 16 gigs of RAM, so I gave it 12 gigs of RAM, and things are looking a little snappier. But again, it's limited by the CPU that you have. So I just came to my channel, so because I don't want to get into trouble with other people's channel and other people's video, and I'm trying to run a video which is again using QEMU and QTMU on Windows 10, 11. I mean, if you want to check it out, you can check it out later. And I'm going to let this ad run so I can earn a penny, probably. Not the penny from Big Bang Theory, but a penny from 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 ads. Okay, so and I bumped up this video to, it was running on 720p, and I bumped up the video to 1080 60 frames HD because I get and we'll hit the full screen button to see if this guy can actually run, and we'll give it some time for the video to go full screen. And yes, it looks, I mean, it looks okay, doesn't look too bad. And see, this is my video running in on full screen on this VM, on macOS Ventura VM, using QEMU in HD quality. So yes, I mean, it's pretty okay. I mean, not too bad. So I mean, yeah, use it, guys. I mean, use it, play with it. QEMU is amazing. macOS Ventura, I don't know, it says hold off. I don't have to see why it says hold off. But, and I can't let this video run through, so I'm going to get out of here by hitting escape. And this is my video, so we should be fine. Okay. Forget macOS Ventura Hackintosh. I mean, this is a much better way, cleaner, and if you don't have a spare machine, then the only way to run it is in a VM, and I just have showed you how to run it using QEMU and preferably on Linux. If you want to improve performance for this, I would definitely recommend the chipset which supports GPU pass-through. Please do that. There is another video on my channel which talks about improving the performance on your virtual machine for macOS. You want to look into that, and please follow the guide on Dhiru Kholia's. That will give you best information. So if you've made it here, congratulations guys. Take care. Hopefully you like what you saw. See you next time. Bye bye.